Okay, it says we are live, but in true Emma style, I am going to check I am live where I'm supposed to be live. Let's have a look. Oh, there's my scone. Scone? That's a whole different conversation. Yeah, it says we're live, but it's showing a very random picture at the moment, so... Oh, no, when you click on it, it's fine. We are live. Hello. I'm getting used to this now, or at least I should be. My third live in less than a week, considering I hadn't done any on here since 2022. But there you go. So I'm joined today by the lovely Julie. I'm going to introduce Julie in a second. Or should I say, I'm going to hand over for Julie to introduce herself in a second. I just want to quickly remind people why I'm here, why we're doing these lives at the moment, and all of that jazzy stuff. So my mastermind, the Simply Growth Mastermind, the doors are currently open. And one of the things that I really wanted to do was to bring some of my existing or past, however we want to look at this, masterminders, to tell you their story, their real stories, their version of what I could say, but they're going to say it better. And it's probably going to be taken as a more realistic approach. So this is not scripted in any shape or form. This is literally me waffling, asking a few questions and then being answered. So let's jump straight in. Julie, thank you so much for sparing some time today.
My pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure to be here.
Amazing. Julie, tell people who you are and what you do, because you're going to make it sound so much more gorgeous than I would.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure about that. My name is Julie Bale, and I have been a singer all my life and a voice teacher. And I run a company called Diva Energy because I believe that the best way into everybody understands what Diva Energy is, don't they? It is, your most present and powerful self, your most confident self. And I believe that the way into that is through singing. So I run a program which is either 6 months or 12 months, which we call the Diva program. And it is a singing program where people learn how to sing. And I focus in 3 areas. So there is the area of vocal technique, which is the foundation, how your voice functions, really important. Performance technique, how you connect with an audience and be a performer on the stage. And then also hugely important, the performance mindset, so that when you get on the stage, you actually believe that you have a message to tell, that you are a diva, that people are not thinking, oh, why is she up there and what's she doing, and that kind of thing. And I do that with people who work as they come and they learn to sing. However, I've recently also started doing the same work, but with those people who want to get on the stage to speak and step into their diva energy.
Which is amazing. And I smile all the way through that, because Julie's energy it's just off the scale when she's in her zone, as genius is absolutely off the scale. So if you don't already follow Julie, do go and do that. Do go and follow Julie and have a look at what it is she does. So before you joined the mastermind last year, where were you at in terms of your business? What was working? Where were you stuck?
Well, when I joined the mastermind, I was incredibly stuck. And Emma and I, we have worked together sporadically in the past, but I was in a place where I really needed a hand. I had been working mainly in the hypnotherapy part of my work. So I've always been a singer. I've always worked as a singer. And as I got further through my singing career, I realized that there was, for myself and also everyone else I was working with, pretty much had terrible performance anxiety. And it seemed to be the more they performed, the more anxious they got, the more nervous they got before going on stage. Will I be able to replicate what I did? Imposter syndrome. What if I forget my words? All of these things. What if everybody boos? What if I fall over? All of these kind of things. And I found hypnotherapy and created a program in hypnotherapy that really helped singers on the stage so that they could get up there and just get on with the business of singing, the stuff that we'd really trained for. But that business, I had focused solely on it sort of to the extent of singing. So I wasn't doing so much singing, I was doing lots of hypnotherapy, and it was tapping me on the shoulder. People were saying, and I was meeting new people in this world who were saying, oh, you're a singer, I'd love to sing, but I can't sing because someone told me that I couldn't sing when I was younger. And I kept having this same conversation again and again and again. And I kept thinking, I need to do something about this. I want to do something about this. I want everybody to know and feel the joy that I have when I sing, that everyone has when they sing, and I truly believe that everybody should be singing, that it is a primal form of communication. And so I was in this place where I was working with the hypnotherapy, but I really wanted to do the singing, and I didn't know how to make it into a proper business. And so enter Emma.
Enter Emma. And Julie, what a year. Yeah. Hasn't it been a year? Hasn't it been a year? So tell me, what's your business look like today, a year down the line?
So if I tell you that I am, I actually have one space at the moment for the program, for the 6-month program, but the 12-month program is completely full, and the rest of the 6-month program is completely full as well. So I'm actually pretty much full until October, and that's quite incredible. This niche program that we thought, well, you know, we'll have a go. We'll see if it's interesting, if people want it. Just really caught the zeitgeist, and so many people wanted to do it. Either people who have had that story, and I hear that story still every day. I love to sing, but I can't sing. I was told I can't sing. I was told to mime at school, or my mother told me not to sing, don't make that noise. And it stopped people from having decades of singing. Or people who have sung lots, but have lost the confidence. They haven't done it for a long time. They don't quite know. They're a bit nervous about people being judgmental towards them, or going to groups, not knowing where to go or who they can talk to. People getting into it either for the first time or back into it, or just really wanting to look, they've got a talent for singing, but now they want to join this community because the Diva community is just amazing and supportive and celebratory, and everybody just really cares for each other and wants each other to do well, and they want to be a part of that and see how their singing can really just skyrocket once they're a part of that lovely community. So just all of these different areas, word of mouth, you know, people would some would say, well, I want to do that as well. I want to do that as well. And all the time, the people who I'm working with say to me, oh, yeah, and I was talking to someone else and they said, oh, I'd love to sing, but I can't. And so they said, you need to talk to Julie. And so, you know, it's just snowballing at the moment.
Absolutely is, isn't it? And for you, Julie, I think it's fair to say action taking has never been your weakness. You are very much always have been an action taker. So what would you say that you've done differently as a result of being in the mastermind this year that has got you the result to where you are? Because you always say you now have your dream business, you now have your dream life. And that for me is like, you know, absolute music to my ears, because that's what I want people to have. What would you say has changed in terms of that? Because it isn't the fact that you've started taking action, because you've always taken action. So what would you say is the thing that has changed?
The thing that to begin with was the clarity. We sat down, you and I, and we talked. I told you all the ideas or all of the model that I had in my head. And your zone of genius is being able to take that and make it into something that's very clear, has absolute clarity. And this clarity was really easy and tangible for me to hold, and something that became, the messaging was very straightforward. It was very easy. It was very simple. And so therefore I could take this and say, this is what it is. This is what I'm doing. all of the strategic planning throughout the year of what I need to do in order to reach those goals, those were the things that I couldn't see, I didn't know how to do. And that's what I've been given. So I understand it much more about how to make it work, as opposed to just understanding what it is. I'm just going to go and pull this curtain because the sun is, we can't moan about the sun.
We can't,
sun
no, don't worry about the sun, but yes, if it's in your way.
It's just right in my eye.
Absolutely. No, we're not allowed to moan about the sun, Julie, because we have been waiting for this to happen for so long. So we're definitely not going to moan about the sun. There we go.
Yes.
Yes. So clarity is the key thing, isn't it? So getting that clarity, which you had to then go and do the stuff. You had to still then go and take the action. I think that's always important for people to realize, isn't it? It's not just having this plan or the strategy or whatever that says this is what you need to do. You still need to work really hard to make it happen. But it pays off, doesn't it? It absolutely pays off. So how would you say you feel as a business owner now in comparison to how you felt a year ago?
I mean, I think the difference is that I do feel like a business owner now, whereas before it was most definitely a case of not really knowing what I was doing, but just trying things and then maybe seeing other people doing things. So I'll try that, or I'll try, and not having this thought of this is what my business is, and this is how I can move my business forwards. I did not know how to do that, and you know how to do that.
Absolutely. We've all got our zones of genius, haven't we? And I think that's, for me, was why it was important within my mastermind that there was this very much this bespoke element, the one-to-one element, the fact that we have days together, VIP days together, where we can really just focus on you and your business. Because yes, there's generic stuff, and when we do some of that generic stuff, we had a lovely in-person day last week, didn't we, where we did stuff that's relevant to everybody. We looked at social media, and we looked at lead generation, and we looked at goal setting and all of those things. That sort of generic stuff we can do as a group, but taking that time to actually go away and do the pieces that we've done in our VIP days is, I think, for me, was a no-brainer. It had to be in there in the mastermind. What would you say has been your biggest takeaway from being part of the mastermind?
The mastermind is, again, it's a lovely place. It's a very supportive community. I love the fact that in this mastermind we have the opportunity to meet every week. And I know some people wouldn't like that because that might feel like too much of a high touch, but actually getting together each week and just mulling over what has happened in our businesses has made it so that we do actually, I believe, interact as a mastermind and help each other and bring what zones of genius we have and what other ideas and contacts and that kind of thing together. And that's happening every week, and that's really precious. It's really precious time to us. I know at one point, Emma, you were bringing in guests into that hour each week, and some of us asked if that could not happen at that time because it was such precious time for us to really just stamp on anything before it gets too big or it gets too out of hand. And so those weekly meetings are really precious.
Yeah. The one of the themes that definitely is coming from the conversations I've been having on these lives is that the networking, the community piece, what a difference that has made to everybody's businesses. Because it's great, isn't it, just to be able to sometimes just to offload, sometimes to just ask for support, sometimes just to share something, sometimes to actually have some people to cheerleader, to celebrate, to do all of those things. Because we do, don't we? We love it when somebody comes on and wants to just come on and say, I'm fine this week, but actually I'm here to celebrate, and I'm actually just here to help and support other people. So, I absolutely love that. I love that. What would you say? No, not what. Let me reword that. who would you say that the mastermind is perfect for? So there's people out there thinking, oh, is the mastermind for me? Who would, as somebody who's in there, rather than me throwing the "this is for you if you are" type points out there, who would you say that this is perfect for?
I think it's for someone who wants clarity about their business. So someone who wants structure, who wants to, I mean, not rigid structure. You can have as much structure as you like, really. Emma will give you whatever it is that you need, but you want to have clarity and structure. You want to have processes. You want to have the stuff in place to get the goals that you want, but it needs to be someone who realizes that you are the one who does it. So there are lots and lots of answers in the mastermind, but it's really important to come in with the mindset that you are coming in to learn things so you can go away and implement them. When you do implement them, then you can get, and I do regularly say to Emma that this is my dream business, dream life. And something else I need to say as well, what I love about it is that when we sit down and figure out what I'm going to do in my business, one of the most important things that we do is we figure out the maximum number of hours that I'm going to deliver each month. And that's so important, because what's important to you, Emma, I know, is that people don't have the business driving their lives, but rather that their lives drive the business. And that is absolutely central to this mastermind, that you figure out what you want from your life. Always, what does success look like to you is Emma's big question. What is that? And that is about living the life that you want to live, and having the business that helps fuel that life, and that way around. And that's important. And the other final thing I would say, it's for people who actually want to be supportive of others. It is a mastermind where we all support each other. If you actually just want to get on with your own thing, but you don't want to be a part of a group and share and all of that kind of thing, then one-to-one is probably better. I would say. Do you think that's fair, Emma?
Absolutely, I would agree with that. A key part of being in a mastermind is the community, isn't it? That absolutely is a key part of it. And you can get so much from a community, but you have to give as much as you take. In fact, perhaps you give more than you take from that community. The more involved you get in the community, I honestly believe the more growth that you will get, both personally and in your business. Having those people in your corner, and I know this from being in masterminds myself, but having those people in your corner for whatever reason, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between, knowing that the conversation is completely confidential, that it was completely from an honesty point of view, because we challenge each other in there, don't we? Somebody will come in and say, this is what I'm thinking, and the community is not afraid to say, well, hang on, let's just go back a little bit. Are you sure? But that's what it needs to be, isn't it? It's got to be open, honest, and helping people to move forward. So absolutely, if you're going to go join a mastermind, whether it's this mastermind or any other mastermind, you need to get involved in the community. You need to go to those meetings. You need to go to those calls. You need to join the in-person stuff, because that's where the magic will absolutely happen. I don't think I've specifically got anything else to ask you. I just really wanted you to share your honest opinion of it. You have the dream business, the dream life. You openly tell everybody that you speak to that you have that. You didn't have that a year ago, and you have done that. You are the person, I will always say, that has made that happen. But the mastermind has helped and supported to get you there, which I am super happy for. Super happy for. So, if anybody that is listening wants to have a conversation with me about the mastermind to see if it is something that is right for you, if you are building your business and you are looking to scale into that multi-six-figure range, you have an established business already, I think it's important to say that's what this mastermind is for. We don't want to leave people behind who aren't ready to do the things that the people in there are doing and having those conversations that they are having. So you need to already have this established business. But if you want to build it, but actually you're overwhelmed, life is taking over, business is taking over life a little bit, then let's have that conversation to see if the Simply Growth Mastermind is right for you, because the doors are currently open. And I would love to bring lots of you on board. Not lots, I'm going to say, actually, I say lots. No, we keep it in intimate space. We don't want lots. We want 10 of the right people. And I think that's the important thing, isn't it? We want people that are going to fit in with us and get the right from it both ways. Okay, thank you so much for your time, Julie. I'm going to pop a link in here after this is ended, in case you just want to come and have a nosy at the sales page. But as I say, I'm here if you want to have a conversation. And Julie, thank you as ever for being an amazing part of my mastermind.
Pleasure.
Okay, let's see if we end.